Back in the early 90s, when ETFs were just getting started, you had your choice of plain vanilla ETFs and more plain vanilla ETFs. It was sort of like the two choices on mom's dinner menu: take it or leave it. Since then, the menu's radically expanded, and the proof is today's ETF battle between three ETFs, ETNs, or whatever you want to call them. It's a triple header between blockchain, FANG stocks, and Ethereum. Turn up the volume and stay with us. Welcome to ETF Battles. I'm Ron DeLegge, and if you're here for the first time, be sure to hit that subscribe button. Hit the like button too if you've been enjoying our content. And if you like to see a certain ETF battle, be sure to give us your ticker symbols. You can do that in the comment section below or hit us up on our Twitter feed at ETF Guide. Today's triple headers between BLOK, ETHE, and FNGU. It's FANG stocks versus Ethereum versus blockchain stocks. It's going to get bonkers. And in culinary terms, this matchup is like New York pizza versus Chicago pizza with a side of French croissants. And even though you know all of these dishes are super tasty, we know you still need some help in deciding. So that's what we're going to do on today's program. And helping us to judge today's matchup is Dave Kreinces with ETF Portfolio Management and Cinthia Murphy with ETF.com. Cinthia and Dave, welcome back. It's great to see you.
Hey guys, good to see you too.
Ronnie D. Hey, Cinthia.
So we got our four battle categories: cost, exposure, strategy, performance, and then our mystery category, where you, our judges, can pick that single factor or multiple factors that you think are important to today's showdown. Now, our judges are going to pick their favorite ETF in each one of these categories. They can also opt for a split decision or introduce a wild card. So we'll have to see what they come up with. Let's get this battle started with our first category, cost. So Dave, get us started.
You know, ETH versus BLOK and FNGU, this is an all-star battle. These funds are amazing, so it should be a love fest. Now, cost is not a main factor here. When you invest in hyper-aggressive growth funds, performance can vary by many multiples of the cost. And while BLOK does have the lowest absolute cost of these three funds, I still prefer ETH on a value-adjusted basis. So I give the win on cost to ETH because, just like Bitcoin, the unique value in Ethereum justifies a higher cost.
Thank you, Dave. We'll shift now to Cinthia. How do you see it in terms of cost between these three products?
Well, I would argue, Dave, that cost always matters. In fact, it is the only variable you can control in your investing. So I'm going to give it to BLOK. You know, it's the cheapest of them. It's 70 basis points. It's for an active fund. It's not particularly cheap, but it's much cheaper than, you know, the other two that are about 1% and almost 3%. So I'm all about lower costs whenever you can. So I give it to BLOK.
Thank you, Cinthia. That takes us to the next category, which is exposure strategy. So Cinthia, you're still up. Which of these three exchange traded products jumps out at you?
You know, what's crazy about this battle today is that the only thread I can find in common here is that we're talking about growth plays, or as Dave put, well, aggressive growth plays. And all of them are suffering from the same kind of malaise of 2021, a little bit of a faded glory story here. So it really, to compare these exposures, you're talking about a very, very narrow 3x leverage ETN that focuses on FANG stocks, which are very mature, slow growing stocks. And then, so you would think it's a more stable ride in the growth play, but then it's a 3x leverage. You have Ethereum, which is basically a pure blockchain play and very aggressive in the crypto space. And then you have BLOK, which is your kind of more nascent companies. It's really getting more fine-tuned in its exposure, I think. As these companies grow in this space, it has interesting names there now, like Coinbase and Voyager and Galaxy Digital. So I like BLOK in this category. I like the middle ground exposure here.
Very good. Thank you so much, Cinthia. Let's shift to you, Dave. How do you see it in terms of exposure strategy?
For exposure, BLOK gives you a portfolio of blockchain-related companies, shocker, FANGU is a concentrated ETN, mostly of tech heavyweights, and ETH is an over-the-counter trust that loosely tracks Ethereum. And again, I mean very loosely. When you learn about all the uses for Ethereum and the planned upgrade this year, including the trends in decentralized finance and non-fungible tokens, you may find that Ethereum gives you ownership in the top next generation platform for a wide range of digital transactions and contracts. This makes Ethereum the most important asset for everyone to add as soon as possible, in my opinion. So I give the win on exposure to Ethereum Trust, ETHE.
We next need to move to performance, and this is where it really shakes down. So Dave, give us your take in terms of which of these ETFs or exchange traded products, better said, stand out in terms of performance.
For performance, over the trailing 17 months from January 20 through May 21, mid-May 21, BLOK has outperformed the NASDAQ 100 3 times, which is impressive. But the margin was small. FANGU actually returned more than double BLOK, and ETH was unbelievable. The Ethereum Trust delivered 8 times your money. That means ETH gave you 6 times the return of BLOK and 26 times the S&P. ETH even left Tesla and Bitcoin in the dust. Now that said, all 3 of these funds are hyper-aggressive growth, which also means hyper risk. A 50% reversal can happen quickly, as we just saw. And given the large, fast-moving performance discount in crypto trusts, some investors may prefer to buy crypto directly through an exchange like Gemini or wait for a crypto ETF. But in this battle, the performance win easily goes to Ethereum Trust.
Okay, very good. Thank you, Dave. I've got you down for ETHE. Cinthia, we move to you. How do you see it in terms of performance? Do you agree with Dave's analysis?
There is nothing to disagree with on all those points that Dave just raised. I'm still not a fan of this Ethereum Trust. I just don't like the wrapper. But I mean, the numbers are the numbers and they speak for themselves. So there is no competition here. Ethereum all the way.
Very good. Next is the mystery battle category, where our judges can pick that one factor or several factors they feel are crucial to today's matchup. So Cinthia, give us your mystery battle category. What is it and who wins it?
I'm considering that these funds are all very aggressive growth. My mystery category is a growth you can stomach. I think in this battle, I mean, if you look at Ethereum for a moment, and in the last week, it went from $4,500 to $1,900, and that's just common for this type of asset. You have FNGU, which is a 3x leverage. So it is the daily compounding on this thing can get really out of hand quickly. I think if you're going to go for growth, again, the middle ground BLOK wins for me. It's something that you get good performance, strong growth exposure, and you sleep well at night, which I think it's a plus.
Very good. I got you down for BLOK. Dave, we shift to you. What's your mystery battle category and who wins it? Shock us.
Now, Cinthia, I know that size does matter a lot. And it can be mysterious. It may just take a little time to appreciate the critical importance. Position size is the difference between catching a dynamic trends like Bitcoin and Ethereum or missing them entirely. Just a 1% position in revolutionary new technology can be life-changing, especially if you reward success carefully. Passive investors can start with allocations of 1 to 3%, while our aggressive portfolios often limit this type of exposure under 10 to 25% total. However, the Ethereum allocation is likely to be the most important for investors to add, so I give the win on position size to ETH.
All right, thank you very much. We're going to shift now to the last opportunity for our judges to give us their overall winner in today's triple header. Dave, give it to us.
Ron, to recap this all-star battle, all 3 of these funds delivered spectacular performance. However, Ethereum was the best by far and strongly outperformed King Bitcoin. Given the many decentralized finance applications and mind-blowing NFT sales, we believe Ethereum will grow to be bigger than Bitcoin. So I give the win in this battle to Ethereum Trust ETHE.
Thank you very much. And we shift now to Cinthia, your final opportunity.
I agree that Ethereum is the performance star on this battle, but I give it to BLOK. I think blockchain is a broader application that can impact many businesses. I love the diversification of BLOK. I love the story there. I love the price relative to the others. And I like the active manager behind it. So I think BLOK is a really good fund that delivers on this growth story. So I pick BLOK.
Very good. I got you down for BLOK. And according to my battle scorecard, today's battle winner in this triple header is a split decision between BLOK and ETHE. We had Cinthia, pretty much almost a clean sweep for her in terms of cost, exposure strategy, her mystery battle category. She went for BLOK. She agreed with Dave in terms of performance for ETHE, but for her pick, again, BLOK won it. And for Dave, it was the exact opposite. ETHE won it across the board. It was a clean sweep for him. And so, as we mentioned in today's episode, I think we gave you some good things. Each of our judges had some takes that were different. We sometimes get that. And actually, it's good to have oil and vinegar once in a while is a good thing, because it helps us all to better understand the strengths and weaknesses of each of these products. And of course, the risks involved, which again, were all highlighted. So the question that I've got for our audience is, how did you enjoy today's battle? Did you expect this particular outcome? Hit the comment section below and give us your thoughts. You can also hit us up on Twitter at ETF Guide. And by the way, which ETF battles would you like to see next? Again, give us your ticker symbols and tell us why you want to see those battles, and we'll take a look at it. One big final thanks to our judges, Cinthia and Dave. Great job. Look forward to catching up with you, both of you, soon.
See you next time.
Thanks, Ron.
I'm Ron DeLegge with ETF Guide TV. Thanks for watching. We'll catch you next time.